I didn't catch that.
Was not on meth, because you can find clips like this, of meth heads with a knife, where it's like, okay, yeah, I can see you had to shoot him even after the first 3 bullets. It just seemed to pump him up. Like, that is no joke.
Gets the blood flowing out, but still.
That's the one drug, or I guess there's like heroin too, but the meth is one where I trust, and PCP. I don't hear much from the government about PCP, but meth is one where I trust Nancy Reagan. She had the right, just say no to meth.
You ever heard about somebody who's like a functional meth head? Like, I come home from a long day's work, do a little meth, but it's cool. Yeah, but it's cool. Like, it's fine.
Actually, like truck drivers,
Yeah.
You hear about like the guys who have those jobs that require them to like be up for long periods of time, and the longer you can stay up and be functional, the better. Those are the only functional meth users, and I'm not sure if it's long term, it's viable for the long term. But like, remember Deadliest Catch? Like how they would talk about like, oh, these guys sometimes they get tired, and then we'll look and Billy's been swept overboard and we don't know where he is. It's like, shit, maybe I should do a little meth. Maybe I should do a little meth before I go out there and do my crabbing on the third shift. Like,
that's the thing about meth, and I'm outside my area of expertise, but I read about this because I'm intensely curious.
Yeah.
I'm super curious, and I've read about it, and I've watched the videos, and you start off super functional. You start off with this level of like, oh man, I'm still me. I'm still with it. You're not drooling and bumping into the walls. You're just happy. It's just like the dopamine. It's just like, man, everything is okay now. You're in traffic. It's 5 a.m. The raindrops are on your windshield, and you find beauty in every one of them. No,
that's you're thinking of heroin.
Am I thinking of heroin? Do I have it mixed up?
That does not sound at all like meth.
Because nobody is sitting calmly in traffic after smoking meth.
Shit. I don't know my drugs. I shouldn't talk.
I can assure you that I was at EDC for the first time, which for those who don't know, it's a music festival that takes place from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. in Las Vegas in June. So it is it's a 3-day thing, and I absolutely do not do any of these things, but when you come in at 5 a.m. on day 3, and they got like this in the techno tent, and everybody's just sitting there like ringing a plastic water bottle and grinding their teeth and just looking like they've been doing this for way too long, and you look at it and you're like, yeah, I can't envision anybody doing like 3 steps above of the coke that you've just done and doing anything functional in life. Like you're really going at it right now. Yeah. So I can't see meth being like
well, then I'm wrong on meth, but heroin, it seems like even coke, like you do a little and you're not like on the ground drooling, grinding your teeth in water bottles and such. Like you're functional. It's not the dragon they say it is, and that's almost part of the problem. It's like they've overblown how terrible it is the first time. And then you start developing your own opinion, then it becomes that terrible over time. That's my impression of how drugs suck you in.
With heroin,
let's get you some heroin. See, yeah. We'll try it out and see how it works.
Having a rough day, throw it in there, make everything fine.
Heroin, it's usually people who get, or I guess nowadays, it's people who get addicted to painkillers. Yep. And then when they run out of painkillers, it's cheaper and more available to get heroin. And that can be cut with whatever, and that's how you get
fentanyl,
horrible OD deaths. Yeah, it might just be fentanyl, and you inject it and you die. So,
Fentanyl's really good. Fentanyl is amazing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because you get that before surgery. Am I mixing it up with a different drug?
I do. I don't know. Fentanyl's like stupid deadly.
Which one am I thinking of?
You're thinking of morphine. One.
No.
Well, now the Michael Jackson. Fentanyl is used. No. All right. So what I've always gotten before surgery was, well, that was a different thing. Fentanyl is a
that's what
propofol. Yeah, that's the one. You're not.
That's the one I'm mixing it with. Propofol. That I'm a huge fan. I have to break a leg or something to get it. Almost worth it.
What is it?
Yeah. I have to have a follow-up surgery on my leg to get the screws taken out. And when they described it to me, I had 2 thoughts. One of them was like, well, that sucks, like a follow-up surgery. And the other thought was, But that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you should plan some sort of a recreational activity to do while you're on it, right? Like, hey, could you give me a little propofol? Don't knock me out. Let me play a few video games. Then dose me up after about an hour, and we'll get this show on the road.
Sir, this is a
I
hospital.
had my ACL surgery.
Sir.
Yeah, I'm like, where's the feel good drug? And they're like, yeah, do you feel like you need it? I'm really anxious. Let's get that shit flowing.
I mean,
and they did.
You can see why when I had my wisdom teeth out and they gave me Vicodin, and they only give you enough that it's gonna last you like a week or something like that. Thankfully, mine were pretty bad, but not so bad that I was just miserable and had to go back. But you could see how somebody would get addicted to them if they had too much for like their condition. Because I went to go see a movie and popped 2 of those bad boys in there and got into the movie theater, and I was like, I looked over at my friend halfway through. I was like, man, like this shit is crazy. And he's like, okay, like great. I'm like, yeah, I know though. It's really good. And then it was gone and that was that. But like, I can understand.
I had that same experience. My wisdom teeth were bad though. It took 3 weeks.
Mine were impacted. They had to break my jaw. It was terrible.
I had
I don't have wisdom teeth.
3 weeks of recovery. So that's how long I was on like the Vicodin or whatever it was. And at the end of it, like, man, I felt the pull. Like I wanted more. I'm back at the work and I'm in the office. I'm doing accounting and it's just like, man, like I think I kind of preferred to be on that painkiller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opiates are crazy.
I get it. I get what happens to people. If I was, I don't know, Brett Favre or something, he had a pill problem way back in the day. With access to all that stuff, where you take it for a whole season, I can see how that happens to people.
Look, I think we should give everybody in the United States enough Vicodin to sort of get addicted, just so everybody knows what it's like, Everybody
a little empathy.
Just give me a little Vicodin, and I'll let you know how I feel.
In capital letters.
Just make sure everybody is on the same page here.
It was fine for Dr. House.
Yeah, he's my idol, and he solved a lot of things.
All while high on painkillers.